Hi, I'm Jim Jachetta, CEO and co-founder of VidOvation. We're here in the TAG Video Systems booth with Danna, and she's going to tell us about what TAG has new here at the show. Give us some applications.
Absolutely. So first of all, thank you for having me in this video and welcome to our booth. So TAG as NAB, just like every year, we are showing the real-time media platforms. The most important thing for us to show at NAB that the media platform works across all workflows. But Jim, you mentioned that your customers are very interested and are having maybe some challenges in contribution.
Correct.
Which is indeed a challenging workflow. So maybe we can talk a little bit about contribution and what TAG can offer to resolve some of that complexity that we have in that workflow. What we're showing actually is a contribution use case and how you can handle contribution better with TAG. So what we're seeing are the channels coming in, both on the contribution side and then the entire path, satellite return, cable return, and CDN return. So you can really see that channel across the whole path. Most important thing in contribution maybe is to be able to see both compressed and uncompressed on the same layout, and you want to be able, you want to make sure that you are able to view them in the same place because we don't want to add that complexity. So of course with TAG you can do that, and then in the tile you can even view the primary and secondary or backup in the same tile to save kind of that space and resources. The other thing that we are doing with TAG right now, beyond the 500 plus thresholds that we are monitoring the video for, we have also added QC. So here with QC Station, you can do advanced color analytics. And this is kind of a setup that an operator in a contribution space would use, because this is exactly what he needs to see at all times. So what we have here is advanced color analytics and also some matrix about different types of things like ETR, different priorities, SCTE triggers if we're monitoring for that. We also have their audio level, stream level, video level, and then we can add all those matrix live right in the multi-viewer display or in the workstation like we're showing right here. The other great tool that can be good for the contribution operator is Lens. It's a new tool that we're showing. So Lens basically helps us map out those errors and where they could be coming from. So what we're trying to do with Lens is reduce MTTR, mean time to repair, if that makes sense. So what we're seeing is basically all our contribution feeds mapped into groups, either by monitoring point or what is the origin, where is it coming from, region, path. You can really build any type of group logic that works for your workflow. And based on that, you can see, for example, which errors are you having for a certain group color-coded and kind of get to that root cause faster based on the impact. For example, if you have the entire, East region red,
Right.
so you know it has something to do with that region, either contribution, distribution, depending on what you're monitoring.
There's an internet problem.
Yeah.
At least you know where to look.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this is Lens, kind of mapping out the impact to help get to the root cause faster.
I see up here you have all these audio monitoring channels. I'll give you an example. Some of our live reality shows, they'll have 8 channels of audio for every camera, and they'll have microphones on the talent, and it's a live show. Microphones get broken, they fall off. It's an action show, is the one show that I'm thinking of. So how they sometimes minutes or hours go by and they don't realize they've lost some audio channels. So can you alert us to that so we don't find out 20 minutes later that we've lost the audio for an important part of the show? How do you guys handle that?
So with TAG, basically what you do is define what the threshold is for you. And of course, a large part of the TAG available thresholds are in audio. Audio is huge. So there are several ways to monitor audio with TAG, including the no audio issue that you mentioned. And we can see that right here. So what you can do is, first of all, monitor audio only. If you don't want that tile to take up space and you want to monitor just the audio, then you can do that. You based on the defined threshold. For example, you can define that if there is no audio for more than 5 seconds, you get an alert. You get an alert on the multi-viewer, you get an alert in your email, you get an alert in your phone, wherever you want it, up to 32 audio channels per source, I believe. That's what we're seeing right here from the UN, actually, that has obviously the video and 32 and a lot of different languages. So they have a lot of audio channels with each source, and they're monitoring all of them at the same time.
So if there was choppiness or dropouts, that you certainly would be able to detect.
You define what the threshold is for you. It could be different for different groups of channels.
Right.
So if you have those high priority channels, it could be, that 1 second. And then you want to get alerted, even if nothing's wrong, you just want to check. But for the lower, it could be a different threshold and also different levels of severity. So if it's a critical severity, you want to get notified on all channels, and red pops up on your screen. And if it's, just a major issue or a minor issue, you want it to be different.
Another common problem is, because it's a live show done remotely, remote production, they're running on battery, so they're changing batteries. But an operator will change the battery, but then they forget to hit the bonded cellular transmission button.
Right.
So they think they're shooting. They see video in their viewfinder. Yeah, I'm live, boss. Yeah, they're on comms.
Right.
And they're like, we got nothing. And again, the operators are distracted looking at another channel. They don't notice that channel 56 has been offline for 20 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or we want to prevent that.
Yeah.
So you would, again, set a threshold that usually with a battery change, the unit takes a minute to reboot. I'd say like a 2 or 3 minute threshold maybe would be reasonable.
Sure, for this scenario.
And then they would get a text. Camera 57 has been offline for 3 minutes.
Right. Even
then
the
they get on the
cameraman can subscribe to these.
Oh, interesting.
Right? That could be interesting
So the
too.
camera operator gets a buzz
maybe
on his phone.
If he's a part of the organization, and if he's, permitted to get those kind of notifications, that could really kind of improve the workflow there. Or what we've seen that's very interesting, depending on the type of the camera that that you described, that you can see, you can feed back the multi-viewer that the operator in the control room seeing back into the camera. So the camera can switch between what they're seeing into the general multi-viewer.
So they can switch the program, if they don't see their own feed coming back to them.
Yeah, which could be too much in the field. You don't even need to visualize the video to do that. You can just tell the system tag to monitor that video, and you don't need to display it for that. Could be on the back end, saves a lot of resources because you don't need to decode that video all the time. And then you can either be alerted on something that is called a penalty box that you can see right here, where when we detect an issue, and only when we detect an issue, we prompt the video.
So it could be hidden off the main screen, but then you'll pull it into the penalty box when there's something wrong.
Exactly.
So the engineers just got to look at this screen.
Exactly.
They can kind of ignore that. That's for the director and the TD to look at. This is in front of the video engineer.
Absolutely.
I just look at that.
Absolutely. So it kind of also saving resources there, but also prevents that operator fatigue. If I'm an operator and we're looking at 20 of these all the time, then the chances that I will miss something,
We used to do a lot of work with the NHL when VidOvation started. So I like the penalty box reference because I get that.
It is
if you've been bad, you got to go in the penalty box.
Exactly. And these guys, you see, they've been bad.
And it's telling us. So quickly you can see what's wrong.
SCTE 35 missing is a threshold that I set up.
You can't roll your commercials without that.
That's a big problem.
That's advertisers, right?
No audio match. The audio that I was supposed to play, there is a different audio playing. That's also a threshold.
So what would be like an audio match? You could sense the wrong language or something? Or give me an
example, what the technology that we're talking about here is content matching, and I will tell you a little bit about it. But basically, you are distributing, for example, the wrong audio, an audio from one stream.
Or from the wrong show or the wrong scene.
Exactly, or
and you're looking at tagging, like the audio you're playing, it doesn't match the tag of the video.
So that's
is that one way, or
that's one way to do it. But content matching actually does something a little bit smarter. Content matching is a tag technology that fingerprints the content based on the visuals or the audio. So either the pixel or the audio envelope, and we can match it through a path. So if your reference point is, the contribution feed, and then down the line you're distributing to several different sources, then you can match that. You have there at the other end what you intended to have when in reference to the reference point. The client can decide what is the reference point. Where do you know for a fact that this is good? And then it can match any number of points down the road to see that it's identical to the reference.
We're not as involved on the distribution side, but now I'm thinking like my client could use tag on the contribution end, but then the feed is leaving the produced show is leaving the studio,
Yes.
switched, cut, directed, color corrected, profanity is bleeped out. It's certainly possible that the wrong audio could be on that output feed. So having tag being a second set of eyes to quality control on the way out.
This is all the eyes you need. This is what we try to do. So it's either by visualizing the video for you in low latency, or it's just monitoring it without taking up all those resources by making penalty box available, notifications available. Hopefully we want to be those eyes for you.
Well, thank you so much. This was great.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you for visiting us.
Well, so be sure to visit Tag Video Systems website or come to VidOvation.com for more information. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great show.